All right. So good afternoon or good morning. My name is David Fung. I'm the sales director for UniPrint, and thank you very much for joining us this afternoon or this morning, wherever you are. And with me today is Gamal Arfin, who is our technical support professional based out of US. So we are right now broadcasting this webinar in Canada and US. Gamal, say hi to everyone.
Hello, everyone.
out there. Anyway, so every one of you in attendance is in listening mode. And if you cannot see the screen or hear us, just send me a chat and a question. We will see if we can correct the issues. If I don't hear from you, that means everything is okay. Again, just if you have any questions or comments, just enter that here, and Gamal and myself, we try to answer the question during the webinar. And by the way, if you have not seen this, you can follow us on Twitter or Google Plus or LinkedIn, and we have quite a number of videos. In addition to, we have also other webcasts that is on our website. You can learn more about us. All right, since we have only 30 minutes, I'm going to just start right away. And this is a series of webinars, or we call it Flashinars, about our latest software, the Infinity version 9. And just to recap, our basic platform, really, for those of you who don't know UniPrint, is our PDF universal printer driver, and which has been in existence more than a decade. We serve the market globally in the Citrix server-based computing, and now, of course, the VDI or VMware View or Horizon and Microsoft RDS. So if you have printer driver issues or printer mapping issues, we basically eliminate all those problems. But today we're going to, this series of webinars, we're going to focus on 3 new features. And one of them is Secure Print and Virtual Print Queue. And in the past couple of months, we have run a couple of those on the web. And if you want to listen to it, again, like I said, you could take a look of our website, and yeah, it's not very long. It's 30 minutes, very quick and informative information about what Secure Print is all about, why we believe that everybody should be printing to a virtual print queue, and all the benefits about it. The second really interesting and high value module is what we call the high availability module with print stream compression. What that really means is that now you have a fully redundant printing infrastructure, no more single point of failure. So in a healthcare, government, or financial services, if you cannot afford to have downtime on printing, then this would be a very good feature to look at, and so on. And today, what we're going to talk about is mobile print, and there's a lot of interest about iOS printing or Chromebook printing or Android printing, any mobile device. This is really what one of the key features that we announced in version 9, and this is what we call the Beyond Universal Printer Driver. We just want the market to know that we're now more than just the PDF Universal Printer Driver. So before I go into it, I'm sure you know about all these statistics out there. In the last few years, there's a lot more users getting into internet, and the last data that we got based by Mobile Industry Review, you look at January 2015, the internet users. Well, there's no surprise there. People know where they are. Most of them are in North America or Europe, and of course now there's a lot of people from Asia Pacific coming on board, or South America, and internet really is the ubiquitous medium or way people getting information. And the other really interesting statistic that I want to share with everybody is about mobile data. Obviously, everybody, look at Apple, look at, iPhone, look at Android, look at Samsung, look at how many devices that they have. In fact, the latest, and I forgot what the number was, that, the number of tablets and mobile phones sold in globally outstrip desktop or laptop. So when you look at this, is a very interesting stat. Average monthly mobile data per user is 900 meg. I'm sure by now is more than a gig, because when you look at all the video streaming sites out there now and all the new apps coming on stream, I'm sure that number has gone up. Anyway, again, if you have any questions, please send in, and we will try to answer them as quickly as we can throughout the webinar. So let's just talk about native iOS or native Apple printing or even Mac printing. Of course, everybody knows that if you want to print from an Apple device, whether it's iOS, tablet, or Mac OS, you have to have an AirPrint compatible printer. Obviously, if you have users or you are starting to deploy iOS device and you want your users to print natively, you have to buy a device that enable the printer to be AirPrint compatible, or you buy a printer that is already have AirPrint compatible, and a lot of the new printers have that feature. But in a corporation, obviously, you have a lot of printers out there, and you don't really want to buy anything in addition to a printer. Here's a solution for you. What our new iOS and OS X printing module will do is allow you to convert any Windows printer or any network printers in your network or in a corporation into a AirPrint compatible printer. And during the demo, Gamal can show you quickly how easy it is. It's just by single click you can enable and disable the any printer to be AirPrint compatible. The other really key feature is that, as people know, like I have an Apple device. I'm sure everybody, a lot of people have Android as well. That, you can download our software piece. That would, and during the demo, I'll show you what it looks like. It's a very simple configuration. You just see the UniPrint logo, and then you just print to the device, whatever that is AirPrint enabled, obviously. So it's a very simple configuration. Anybody who has an Apple iOS device or tablet will know what to do with it. What is more interesting is that the whole module integrate with our existing or new features with UniPrint Infinity. Such as, secure print, or what we call print to one print queue or virtual print queue. The other one obviously is reporting and archiving module. So if you want to keep track of what is printing, who is printing what, and how many pages and all that, and all the other benefits are part and partial of UniPrint Infinity. And again, we can show you that if we have time. In other words, we're basically giving all your users all the benefits of UniPrint. So let me just talk a little bit how the whole thing works. A picture is worth more than 1,000 words. So let me just through this. So you have a wireless device. Obviously, when you are in your network, you want to have an access point. And the access point will be connected to a UniPrint print server, which will have printers connected to it. And by enabling it, now you can enable this printer to be AirPrint compatible. Or you would say, you know what, I just want to print to the VPQ or the virtual print queue. Then your print job will show up when you say, I got a print job from my device, and then that print job will go to a print server. If we want to print directly to a printer, you will go there. Or if you want to print to a VPQ, it will show up in the VPAD, and then you can release the print job accordingly. And I will, in the demo, we'll show it how it all happens. The other, before I go into that, maybe I'll just talk a little bit, which is brand new. I know we noticed that some of you are from education, school boards, public school boards, university, and this is brand new and is available in beta, is our Chromebook printing. And if we have time, maybe we should do a little bit of that. If not, we welcome one-on-one deep dive and just contact sales at uniprint.net. And at the end, I'll put the email address again, sales@uniprint.net, and someone from our sales team can contact you, and we can do a deep dive and look at how all this work, and including Chromebook printing, because as I mentioned, some of you are from the school board or university, and I know that a lot of the schools are now encouraging Chromebook device out there because it's very cost effective, and Google is giving away a lot of very useful apps out there. So I'm sure you would like to know how you can print securely and in your own environment instead of just Google Print. So the other module is about email to print. So why do we come up with that? This is a very interesting. So the use case is that we have customers who said, hey, we have guests and who have all this mobile device, or they have laptops, and they want to print in our environment, and we don't want to, they are not part of our Active Directory. Then email to print is the answer, because it doesn't care what OS you have. You could have even BlackBerry or other peculiar device out there that we don't know. But anyway, the key is really any device who have an email client, now you can print. So really, it is very easy to set up. And again, during the demo, we'll show you how it is to print to a email queue. And obviously, it also integrates with our secure print and reporting and archiving feature. And you can make it fully redundant with our high availability module and so on and so forth. Basically, like as I mentioned earlier, you assign an email address to a print queue, and that's it. That's all you do. And if somebody wants to print, I think I have a slide to explain how it all works, and we'll come to that in a second. The use case, like I said, especially in legal office, you have people coming into your office, or you are in a boardroom, you have different people outside of your organization, they want to print, then this would be the simplest way to allow your guests or other people want to print. We have a use case in one of the government agencies, is a community health, and they basically allow people to come in and print to their printer. That all they do is set up a couple of printers and say, okay, if you want to print, just email to your document to this printer, and that's it. That's the end of it. So you can do that. And I mentioned about security already, so I'm not going to reiterate all those points. This is a simple diagram in terms of how the system works. So any mobile device with an email client, it could be a laptop, could be anything basically. And then in the data center, you have our UniPrint Bridge server, our UniPrint Print server. These are all software modules that could sit inside installed inside a physical server or virtual server, doesn't matter. And then you have assigned a printer or printers with an email address, and all you need is really a printer that you want to designate. Or to make it more simple, we would recommend that just do an email to virtual print queue. That's it. And then whenever people want to release a print job, then they can go to a repad and release the print job. During the demo, we'll try to do that. Oh, one of the key components, of course, well, with email, you need a POP3 or IMAP with email server in your environment. So here's how it works. A client with the email client, with the document. We'll send that document to through the email to the email server, and then the document will go to our what we call the bridge server. The bridge server really is our traffic cop. So they look at that document. If it is a PDF, it will go directly to the printer or the virtual print queue, depending on how you got it set up. If it is not a PDF, again, because we are universal printer driver based on PDF, then you go to what we call a document conversion server, which is another module sits virtually or in a physical server. The whole job of this program or this module is to convert any document format, Word document, Excel, or even JPEG, into PDF. And when it is in new PDF, then the document just got printed either way, whether it's a printer or sitting in the virtual print queue. All right, any questions? If not, all right, so let me just quickly, okay. So there's a quick question right now. Do you need individual servers or are these just components? Yes, these are only components. So this can be just sitting on your, if a lot of people have VM or virtualized server, so they could just put it on the you just spin a virtual image and server image and then put it in there. And how does the secure print work for gas? Oh, I will show during the demo if we can show you at the time. Let me just see. We just 20 minutes, so we got 10 more minutes. I'm sure we can do that. We have how do you compare to EMA to print to HPE print? Okay. Well, I will hold that question because it takes a little bit more time to explain. But let me just show you how I'm going to do a demo using my Apple device. Let me just turn it on, and so that and then I got to run the mirroring so that you can see. Let me see if you can see it. Okay, great, you can see it. So here's a Apple device. It could be an iPhone. It could be what have you, tablet, I should say, or iPad, but it's very simple. So let's just assume that I have a document, and I just so happen to have a document here. It's really one of our brochures, and it just happened to be a PDF. And so if I want to print, I just click this arrow right here underneath, and then you can see that there's a UniPrint logo right here, which is really a program that you will be able to download from Apple Store. And if I press print, then you will see that this come up. And I said, okay, I want to find a printer. So here's a list of printers that we have already pre-configured, obviously. The first one is our virtual print queue. The second one is the Xerox printer, and then a Samsung printer. So let's just press the VPQ, as you can see. And if I would turn on the secure print, and just enter 1, 2, 3, 4, just for the sake of it. And I will say print, then the print job will go, this is a very interesting. All right, I am in Toronto. As I said, Gamor is in US. I'm going to change the presenter now to Gamor. And Gamor can take over and show his screen. Gamor, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Do you see the screen?
I believe you'd have to change me to presenter, David.
Okay, I changed someone else, I think. Let me do this. Here we go. Sorry, guys.
Okay, and can you see my screen?
Not yet. I can now. Is that
Okay,
you?
perfect. Yep.
Yeah.
Can you
So
see
you
it?
can,
Okay.
yeah, I can see your go to webinar, and I just need you to bring up the emulator. How come I can't see you? I cannot see it yet. Have you bring it up?
I believe you made the wrong presenter. So there's two.
Okay.
Can you switch it to the other one, please?
All right, I'll do that. Are you the one?
Perfect.
You got it?
Okay. So what you should see, thanks, David.
Perfect.
What you should see on my screen is basically an emulator. So just to show you how this all works, what I've got is basically an emulator of our VPAD device. So this is the VPAD device is used for secure pull printing. And since David chose to send a job to Secure Print, we're basically going to show it from here.
How come I don't see your screen? I see it now. Sorry.
Okay.
Got it. Got it. I see it.
Okay. So David
So,
sent a job to the Secure Print queue, and basically he sent it from his iOS test device. So if I look up his name, I can see his name listed here in the drop down. And we can go ahead and choose a print job that he sent to the virtual print queue. So for
so the
example, if
second one, sorry, there are two of them. The second one is the one that I just sent at 12:22, which is 1:22 in Toronto and in your time zone. Oops, sorry. All right.
yep.
Got it.
So I can go ahead and hit print, and obviously it's going to ask me for that password that David entered when he printed the job. So it's just 1234, and I'm going to go ahead and hit print. And then basically it'll give me a list of printers that I want to print to that's nearby to this VPAD device. So I'm just going to go ahead and send it to the Xerox printer, and away that print job will go. So if we look at our print server and take a look at the VPAD device, or sorry, the Xerox printer, we can see that that job is now in the queue, which I've paused.
Right. So just imagine, right? I mean, basically what we've done and show it to you is that this is very mobile, and I really think that this would just demonstrate the features and benefits of our mobile printing. So I'm in Toronto. I basically send a print job through the corporate network to a VP queue, and then if I'm happen to be, if I can pick up the job tomorrow if I'm visiting a mall in the U.S. and just enter my name, identify myself, either through the touch screen that you see with a VPAD or using secure card, and then I'll authenticate myself and just basically retrieve my print job. So the use case is, like this is how the virtual print queue works. Basically, everybody, if you can imagine, everybody in your organization printing to the virtual print queue, and then when they are ready to pick up the print job, they can pick it up anywhere, anytime by authenticating themselves. All right. So I think now we got some time for some more demo, and then we'll answer some questions.
Okay. So
Why
just to
don't we
move
just
along,
do
David,
that?
I can
Yep.
show the other
Yep.
option for iOS printing.
Yep.
And this is for within the organization. And basically, with this UniPrint printer publisher utility that we have, it basically turns any of your print queues on your print server into AirPrint printers. So on the left-hand side here, I actually have the utility open, and you can go ahead and check which printers you want to enable for AirPrint. So I've gone ahead and selected all of these, and basically I just need to hit finish, and now all those printers would be available from an iOS device that's connected to your wireless network within the organization. So if a user wanted to print from their iOS device, there's no client that they need to install on their actual device. They would just basically hit print and select the AirPrint printer that they would want to print to.
Excellent. Okay. Do you want to show the email to print how easy it is to do?
Sure. So for email to print, basically all it is we're assigning an email address to a print queue that's on either your print server or on the bridge server. So for example, if I go over to my bridge server, I've got the UniPrint management console open here, and in this demo, I'm basically showing that I've got the virtual print queue, which is the secure print queue, set up with email to print. So basically what happens is once an email is sent with an attachment to this email address, UniPrint will strip out that attachment, either send it if it's a PDF or convert it into a PDF if it's in a different format, and then basically send it to a printer that you'd want to print to. And you can assign this to print directly to a printer, so you don't have to use the secure print queue. So you can go directly to a Samsung or Xerox printer, depending on how you set it up.
Excellent.
Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and send an email, which I've pre-constructed, and it's going to that same UniPrint demo@gmail.com. It's got an attachment here of this Flashinar that David was showing, and I'm going to go ahead and send that.
So it's in
Once
a
I send that,
PowerPoint format, yeah?
yep, once I go ahead and send that, I should receive an email here shortly in my inbox giving me a password to release that print job because we decided to send it to the secure print queue. So we're just going to wait for that email to come up.
Yeah, so there was a question about how does it work. So like the question was, wow, that's a lot of question here. The question was how do secure print work for guests? So basically this is what Gamal is doing is you send a print job to the virtual print queue, and then the guest will get an email like this. Here's a PIN number, as you can see, and you can then enter that PIN number in any of the VPAD device and retrieve that print job.
Exactly. So if we go back to the emulator here, basically I've got the emulator, and it basically asked me for the email address that I sent that job from. In this case, it was called UniPrint Demo at Outlook. So I'm going to go ahead and select this. And as you can see, there's two jobs here in the queue, one from when I sent it earlier and the one that we previously sent. So if we hit print, it's going to ask me for that same password that was sent in the email. So if I go back, it's 6089. I'm just going to enter the same password, and basically it's going to allow me to choose to any printers that's assigned to this VPAD device.
Right. Very good. So anyway, so in terms of time, I'm going to answer a couple more questions. Okay, how does so do you need to install a UniPrint app on the device? If you are using email to print, you don't have to install anything on the device. If you are using Chromebook, then you have to install some of let me just start with the iOS device first. The iOS device, as I mentioned, you saw earlier, you know, there's a UniPrint app that you got to install. Basically, it just allow you to pick any printer and so on and so forth. If it's Chromebook printing, then we use the extensions, and then you have to install a little bit of a small program on that. Again, we can talk more offline if you like, and we could have more in-depth discussion and so on. All right. I think it's 1:32. In view of the time, I want to thank you. I'm going to answer one more question. Do all devices require to be on one specific network? Really, if you are using email to print, all you need is access to email, right? And if you are on the corporate network, then you just have to be part of the wireless network or whatever. Again, I think thank you very much for all these questions. And obviously, there's a lot of people interested in mobile printing. But since we said we want to limit this to 30 minutes because I know time is precious for everybody, if you do want to investigate more about mobile printing using UniPrint, please, by all means, contact us at sales@uniprint.com, uniprint.net, I should say, and again, sales@uniprint.net. Sorry, and I'm just rushing my time because I know everybody is busy. So thank you very much again for attending this precious 30 minutes, and goodbye. Thank you, Gamal.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.